Hey guys, how's it going? Today, time to finish the game. This is the final day trial. Let's finish this case. Let's get this son of a fucking bitch. Let's figure out who Yanni Yogi is and get Von Karma. This is it. Judgment Day. Today, things are going to be settled at last. A lot of things. What's the big deal?
Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn off from my run-in with the stun gun yesterday.
Oh, God.
Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick.
Yeah, thanks, Maya. Edgeworth is looking glum as always. I hope Von Karma doesn't push him too hard. Whoa! What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with the pat on the back.
Maya, maybe you should go outside and discharge.
Right, good idea.
Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. Wow, pal! What's gotten into that girl? Detective Gumshoe! Morning, Mr. Edgeworth. Good morning. How'd it go, Detective? Have no fear, as promised, I've captured a runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took all night, pal. Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. You must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Yogi says he's forgotten his own name. But that has to be a lie. Why would he want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember, and I'm going to prove it. Here we go.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth.
The defendant is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready. Right, very well. We have reached the final day of our proceedings in this trial. I ask that the prosecution submit decisive evidence. Understood.
Come on, don't be awed but into silence by every little thing he says.
Very well, Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness into the courtroom. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember our witness. He lives in the boat rental shop on the lake from where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he has currently lost memory of his name and identity. Witness! Why did you run away yesterday? Objection! The witness was not running away, as he will now testify. I see. Very well, please begin your testimony.
Why I left court.
I'm really sorry about just leaving yesterday like I did, but I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for Potty, see? I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I need one of those motor things, right? And I don't got one. So a testimony yesterday stands as is.
And without the letter, that's gonna be very painful.
Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, shall we?
He has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi, and I'm going to prove it. Then why did you leave?
He's just about to say why. Is it so hard for you to just quietly listen when someone is talking?
If I sat quietly, Edgeworth would be guilty in 3 minutes. You've lost so much of your memory, is that correct?
Yeah, seems like it.
Then how could you know that you didn't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, You know exactly who you are.
The witness has testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show the court proof.
How am I supposed to prove what's going on in that old codger's head? That's impossible!
I'm glad you've come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Very well, witness, please continue.
Food?
Well, Honey is a bit of a gourmand, you see. She only eats these high-quality bird pellets from France. They only have them in the big pet shop downtown.
But you weren't arrested until this morning. Why didn't you go back to the caretaker's shack?
Well, I kind of got lost, you see.
The witness has trouble remembering things sometimes. When the police apprehended him, he was on his way back to the shack.
Yeah, right. Nice try, Von Karma. No one's gonna believe that.
I see. So he was lost.
Please, Your Honor, come to your senses! Gotta press. How can you say you had no motive? I say you do. You had a grudge against Edgeworth and the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right?
Please do not make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. This witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible.
I have to prove he's lying about his memory. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing over and over until the trial ends.
Might I say something, Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
You've been saying the same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness's memory of the past or lack thereof into question. But does this really have anything to do with the current case?
Of course, Your Honor. The witness has said he has nothing to do with this case and no motive. Both of these statements are lies!
Order! Order! Mr. Wright, there's a serious problem with your claim. Or are you saying you know who this witness is?
Of course, Your Honor.
Now this is interesting. I would like to know myself, so who is he?
Don't play dumb, Von Karma.
Mr. Wright, please tell us the witness's name.
His name is Yanni Yogi, the former court bailiff.
Yogi? That name seems familiar. Oh! Yanni Yogi! From the DL6 incident!
It figures a judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case.
But what does this mean?
Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive.
Jumping to conclusions again, Mr. Wright. This witness is Yanni Yogi. Fascinating. However, how do you propose you prove this to the court? This is a court of law. As you may recall, you need proof. And allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory.
This is it. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi right here, right now, then I've got nowhere else to go.
Nick, how are you going to prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi?
It's okay. It's actually quite simple. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Then we'll compare them to the fingerprints on file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago.
I see, that makes sense.
Huh?
I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright.
Why?
The witness has no fingerprints.
What? What? No fingerprints?
Hey, you see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burnt my fingers working with the stuff here.
What? Yogi, you sneak! Burnt your fingerprints off to hide your past!
Well, if the witness has no fingerprints, I guess we will not be able to prove his identity.
No!
Just. Well, what do you do? Well, what will you do, Mr. Wright? It seems that the case has been decided, no?
No! I know what happened! I know everything! I just can't prove it! But no, I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way.
There's no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one!
Nick, what are we gonna do?
I didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints.
What do I do? Tisk. Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine his parent for a little comic relief, hmm?
Yeah, very funny. You're a sore winner, Von Karma. Wait a second. Cross-examine his parrot?
What is it, Nick?
No, you're not going to. Your Honor? The defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal.
Take Mr. Von Karma up on my proposal?
Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot.
Order! Well, what do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Do you even ask this is a farce? I object!
Wait a second. You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested.
Well, if you're so desperate, then please be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this, and nothing comes of it, then I hope you're ready for the consequences.
Nick, this is crazy.
Well, still want to go through with your little game?
Yet, let the parrot take the stand. I will cross-examine her, Your Honor.
This is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard.
Von Karma's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence, except the parrot. She's my last chance. At least, I think so.
Bailiff, bring in the parrot!
This is absurd.
That's quite a bird. Please tell us your name. Name! The witness is ignoring me.
It must hurt to be ignored by a bird.
Ahem. Very well, witness. Who is your owner? Please testify for us. Certainly the most concise testimony we've had so far. Very well, beginning cross-examination.
Right.
What are you gonna do, Nick?
I don't know. What do we do, Maya? Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya, you talk to her.
Right, what do I say?
As I recall, 2 days ago...
Polly, have we forgotten something?
Don't forget DL6! If I can get Polly to say that here, that'll prove that the caretaker had something to do with DL6.
Polly, have we forgotten something?
Hello?
That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot something we forgot.
Hello?
Uh-oh, it's not working, Nick. She won't say it.
It's ridiculous. Why won't she say it?
Tisk something the matter, Mr. Wright?
Wait. Don't tell me Von Karma expected this.
Couldn't have retained the parrot?
He couldn't have retrained the parrot, could he? Did he train her not to respond if we asked if we'd forgotten anything? Are you kidding me?
Well, I suppose we could try to get some information out of her. We need to show the judge better.
Okay.
Hold it!
Alright.
Have anything to do with her owner's identity?
Of course. Yes, it does.
Ha! Fascinating. You claim that the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity. Then show us this proof!
Nick, don't you think we're taking the bluffing a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. All we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honor, the proof that the parrot's name reveals the caretaker's identity is... That's not it. Okay. Maybe I'll get her to say the number of that safe.
Huh? The safe? Why?
Let's just try to get her to say anything, okay?
Polly, what's the number to the safe in the shack? 1228! 1228!
My, what a reckless parrot! Well, Mr. Wright, you weren't claiming that the number had something to do with the caretaker. Had something to do with the caretaker?
Actually, it does. Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it.
Ha! Ridiculous. How can the number to a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could possibly link the number to the caretaker's true identity?
I see it now. Okay.
Take that!
The DL6 case file? What is this obsession you have with that case? Mr. Wright, where in this file is something related to the safe number?
It's on the case summary page.
The case summary?
Specifically, the date on which the DL6 incident occurred.
The date of the incident, December 28th. Why, that's today's date, 15 years ago.
And the number on that date on that safe is 1228.
Oh!
He used the date of the DL6 incident as the number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important that date was to him.
I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates.
Objection.
Bah! That's not tangible proof. I set my ATM card's number to 0001 because I'm number 1. That has nothing to do with the date. Nothing! Indeed. Although it is a little weak for evidence in a murder trial, we would need more some other corroborating evidence.
Where am I going to find that?
Nick, we're getting closer. One more. If we can just get one more piece of evidence.
Right. But what?
Very well, witness, you may continue.
Hold it.
Okay. Okay, I have to do, what's your name? Maybe I should get her to say her name.
I think we've established that the parrot's name is Polly. What does that have to do with her owner's identity?
Of course. Oh! Third page. Let's check. It was suspect data. Okay.
Take that.
Your DL6 case file? That's quite a large file you have there. Which page is this proof on then? Show us or stop wasting our time. Very well, Mr. Wright, please show us the page. Where in this file is this information connected to this parrot's name?
It's on the suspect page data. On the suspect data page. This page has all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide, see?
Indeed. It does say that, yes.
What was his fiancée's name?
Polly Jenkins. Polly!
Exactly, Your Honor. He wanted to remember the name of his fiancée who had committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her.
I see. I guess that is possible.
Objection.
Bah! A mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. Well, Mr. Phoenix Wright, does this make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 7 years old. That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion here. This is a mere coincidence, that's all. True that it's a possibility, however, two coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. What do you say? Summon the caretaker of the boat shop. Immediately! Witness, tell us your name.
Objection.
Wait. This witness, he doesn't remember.
No, it's okay. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done.
Nick, he looks totally different.
This is the real Yogi, I think. Finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years.
Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court.
My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court.
Order, order! Yanni Yogi! So it was you who killed Robert Hammond? And tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death?
Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond, he said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancé, my social standing. Then, this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought it was my chance after 15 years. This was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets.
Wait a moment! Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean?
I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond.
Oh, Karma, where's Mr. Yadi Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. Saw no room for error in his conviction, in his confession. Well then, the defendant Miles Edgeworth is innocent, in this case at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you're cleared of suspicion for this particular case. So I would like to pass the judgment on to the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections?
I don't believe it. Why isn't Barkama saying anything?
Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty.
Nice.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
Objection!
Did someone just say objection?
It wasn't Bankarma. Wait, but that means... No. Edgeworth!
Your Honor, I object to your judgment. What do you mean?
I'm not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what?
Nick! Edgeworth is trying to confess! He's going to say he's guilty! He's going to tell them he was the murderer in the DL6 incident! He's going to tell them he killed his own dad!
What do I do?
Objection!
The judgment's already passed. I object to Edgeworth's outburst.
Objection. Didn't something like this happen yesterday too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a guilty verdict was passed.
That would be Larry.
We must hear this new statement. We must hear Miles Edgeworth. He's right. We have a duty to hear Mr. Edgeworth out.
Oh boy. For 15 years, I've had a recurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare, that's what I told myself. But now I know it wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer.
You mean in the incident where your father died?
From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. The murderer, the criminal in the DL6 incident, it was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for DL6, the statute of limitations which ends today. The culprit is me.
Order! Order! This is certainly unexpected. The defendant declared innocent is confessing to a different crime. The crime on which the statute of limitations runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. Bah. It's obvious. We hold the trial right here, right now. We tried this man for a crime of 15 years ago.
Great.
I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned.
Okay. That's not good. I'm sorry, Wright. I've just wasted all of your effort. Mr. Edgeworth, I just don't believe it, sir. I mean, you killed your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, Detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy! Just crazy!
Nick, what are you doing?
Huh? Oh. I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready.
Your case for what?
Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it! He confessed to that. He confessed that he did it in court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right. Here we go.
Now then, I would like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let's begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do the cross-examining. The statute of limitations on DL6 incident runs out today. Although it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections?
No, Your Honor. Well, Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you?
Very well. Well, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, please take the stand.
Alright, here we go.
Will the witness state their name and profession?
Miles Edgeworth, I am a prosecuting attorney.
Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago, you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct?
It is correct.
Then testify about this matter to the court.
When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work.
Please, please.
Alright, here we go. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all.
And until now, you thought this memory was a dream.
We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events.
Bah! The same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor. I already think I know this one. Let's make certain here. A single gunshot. If I'm not mistaken, there were 2 gunshots fired. On the scene. It was fired twice. Right there, victim data.
Objection!
Objection! Are you sure you only heard 1 gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and a scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came.
I see.
No, Your Honor. Unfortunately, you don't. Look at this file one more time. If this plainly contradicts the witness's testimony.
Objection. You should enjoy dragging out that file. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence unless you can tell us what page it's on. Which page contradicts Miles Edgeworth's testimony?
Victim data. Look at the victim data in this file. It says it's quite plainly the murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot. Yet, the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot?
Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot?
Objection.
Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident.
What?
I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we have heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot fired had something to do with the case?
Yes. Your Honor, I think I'll be able to show you proof.
What? Impossible! Now, Mr. Von Kama, save your surprises for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show us the proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing of the pistol is related to this incident?
Just double checking. DL6 incident or the bullet. Let's try that.
Take that!
Look at this photograph. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago.
I can see the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth.
This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it.
So let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots are fired. Where?
Your Honor, please get a clue. Show the judge the contradiction in the photo.
Take that!
As should be obvious, the contradiction is here.
I see a bullet hole in the door.
Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Yet there's also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot.
Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at?
It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart, the other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that that the second shot was fired by someone else. I believe I can speak.
Mr. Wright, how could that be so? Who could that someone else be?
The murderer, of course.
Objection.
I knew I should have stepped in before your fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page.
The case summary, that's on page 1.
Look at what's written there. Not a single clue is found on this scene. If the pistol had had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter, the whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made that bullet hole in the door. Order! I will have order! Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly. That the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Montgomery says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked this second bullet. So all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense claim. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter.
How did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection?
I'm sorry, Maya.
What?
It looks like I was wrong.
Nick?
If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing.
No. But you said you'd do get it, Nick. You said you'd get Edward declared innocent.
I'm sorry. It's just when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person somewhere else who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years.
Nick?
Well, it seems that we have finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any objections?
No. No, I do not.
So you killed your father, though it was not your own intention?
Yes, I did.
Oh no. He's accepted the guilt.
Very well. Statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today, right here. Right now. Indeed. Does anyone have any objections?
I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There's so many things I know I should be saying. But my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words.
Mr. Wright?
Objection!
Your Honor, I object.
Tisk. Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object?
Nick?
I don't know. His case is perfect.
Oh no.
It must exist. The second bullet. What? What did you just say?
Nothing.
The second bullet must exist? But where?
Someone took it.
Seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright.
Wait, Your Honor.
Hmm?
The second bullet. It existed.
What? But we have just heard proof that it does not exist.
I realize that, Your Honor. I'm really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened.
But who?
The murderer.
The murderer? Then tell us, who is this murderer?
I'm still thinking about that one.
So the criminal took the second bullet, but why?
Huh?
First of all, how could they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet?
I'm trying to remember. Why would the murderer have to spend the time looking for that stray bullet? I haven't got a clue.
What's wrong, Mr. Wright?
Bah!
The murderer has no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true.
Had to take it. Had to take it? The murderer? What does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention on taking the bullet from the scene, but the murderer had to take the bullet.
Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean?
Well, for instance, what? Maybe the bullet, hit the murderer?
The bullet hit the murderer?
Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. Was I just talking off the top of my head, or if that's really what happened?
Let me get this straight. So at the time the murderer shot themselves was shot, and they left with the second bullet still inside of them, thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime.
Yes, I guess that's how it would work, yes.
But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from that elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Oki, were both unharmed. So that would mean
The murderer came from the outside, yes. Ooh. The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges, and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then, the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside.
Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. Objection. What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer.
No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone.
Hey, Nick.
Huh?
I just thought of something really crazy.
Crazy?
Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday?
Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record.
Wow.
Wow!
It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in as many years of prosecuting.
What if Von Karma didn't take the vacation just because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean
It could only mean one thing.
he was the murderer in the DL6 incident.
He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth.
It was Von Karma!
Oh, man.
Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed.
No, Your Honor.
Well, you have indicated the possibility of that the murderer came from the outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect?
Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now? Say it now. Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect.
Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect?
My hands are shaking.
What?
Von Karma!
Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma? The prosecutor? The one standing right over there? Bah. You don't object? Huh. I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection?
Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride on a perfect score. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason?
So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where would I go under the knife at? Where would I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operate on me. Have him testify.
Nick, let's find out who his doctor is.
It's no use. Edgeworth?
I know Von Karma perhaps too well.
He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave the doctor as a witness. Nobody's that perfect.
So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane.
No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out by yourself. Wait, what does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where?
Just. Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot?
All right, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much.
What?
The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is...
Take that!
Von Karma's perfect. He went with surgery, leaving an evidence trail. So then I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it's unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself.
You don't mean...
I do. There is the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma.
Is that even possible for all these years?
Well, there's one way to find out. We could use a smell detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you and see what we find.
I refuse. You refuse? But refusing this means you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you. Order! Order! Order!
Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector.
Objection. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy.
Objection!
The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said that we had to end it right here, right now.
Enough! I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, will you submit yourself to testing?
Nick, what does this mean?
I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. It reacted! Something is inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma? You. It was you!
I was afraid this would happen. And so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident.
What?
I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6.
It still does.
But Mr. Von Karma, how can you prove that? Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It is Mr. Wright who must prove something here. Not I. Mr. Wright? Well, can you prove it? Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulders was from DL6? Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence.
That's because you took it out of the record room yesterday.
With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright.
No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma.
What?
You were close, one day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof.
What?
Who would have thought that you would dig your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to a DL6 incident. And here's my file proof.
Take that!
That's... a bullet? Where did you get that?
This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. It was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely with all those ballistic markings intact.
Ballistic markings?
You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago.
Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate.
We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We could analyze both bullets. Then, if the markings matched, we would know that both bullets have been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol, in other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we will compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet. And solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? He is going ballistic. That scream. I've heard that scream somewhere before. Wait, I know.
Help, I can't breathe.
Quiet, I said quiet. You're not making this any easier.
Stop breathing my air. I'll stop you.
Stop breathing my air!
Get away. Get away from my father.
It's that scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed!
Mr. Von Karma?
Only you would dare defy me! So it was you. You and your father are my curse! Your father shamed me with the penalty on my record! And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade! I'll bury you! I'll bury you with my bare hands! Dead! Dead! 15 years earlier.
Chief Prosecutor, I am sorry. Von Karma, it is not like you to make this kind of error.
I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you.
I guess I was careless.
I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time.
Edgeworth! was a shock like none I have ever known. Me? Penalized? It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly, I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out into the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then, there was a noise. I was in pain. A horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. To my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died never knowing who had shot him. Later, he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. Tisk. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge? What? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring it into this miserable charade. Now, end it. Very well. It appears that we have come a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later, Mr. Miles Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? You were innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty!
We finessed that one.
That is all. This court's adjourned.
All right. We finessed it.
Nick, we did it! Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you crushed him, Nick. Crushed! I gotta say, I'm impressed.
It was pretty close, though. I was sure he had it. We'd had it.
I know, I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself. But now, it's just a good memory.
So, it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right. Yeah? I'm not sure how to say this.
I know. Try thank you.
I see. Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're welcome.
I think you could have done better than that.
Sorry, I'm not good at this sort of thing.
You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth.
She's got you there.
Woo!
Amazing, pal! You pulled through just like I thought you would! I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month. But who cares?
See, Mr. Edgeworth, you should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you.
I see.
Whoop! I feel foolish.
Don't worry, take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it.
It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded.
Hey, y'all! Lotta! Y'all were great in that.
Thank you.
Yo, Edgeworth, congrats!
Thank y'all very much.
I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your hand in the cookie jar if no one was there.
You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you?
Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, eh?
Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta?
Who, me? Oh, I went back to college. I gave up on trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick.
Really? That's too bad.
Huh? Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park?
Huh?
It's over, Nick. My life is over.
Why the sad face, Larry? What happened now?
Oh, Nick, I'm not long for this world.
You don't look sick.
It's Beyonce. She's going to live in Paris. Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind.
Should have seen that one coming.
Yo, Edgy, there you are.
Yes, here I am.
Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift from me in celebration.
Celebration? That's unusual for you.
Harry Butts, you come along tonight to my tree, pal. Huh? Thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick. That's the suit that questioned me. When he says treats, that's not police stuff for prison food, right? Right?
I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right. Yeah? What's up? That envelope that Larry gave me. It's got money in it. Well, yeah. That's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Huh. What a weird amount. I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either. $38 exactly?
Nick? That's not exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Mr. Edgeworth in school.
38. No. No, Larry, it was you! What are you so surprised about, right? Huh? Larry was absent that day from school, right? But that doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. What? Think back to that day, 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came into school anyway. Then, when he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history.
I never was good at history.
Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right? You may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know! Really, right? I'm surprised you didn't figure it out.
Well, this sure is an unexpected turn of events, eh?
Edgeworth? You should have told me!
No, Nick. It was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'd say so, yes.
There you have it.
Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney at what you two did.
Well, you have always been something of an insufferable emotionalist.
Yeah, and you get all worked up too easy, too.
Death! The death sentence for both of you! Man, if I only had known I'd have become a prosecutor! Same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be the criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I had known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney, after all. Edgeworth. Oh, one switch, right?
Hey, y'all. Line up. I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time. Let's go.
And after that, dinner on me.
Alright. Detective Gumshoe took us out on the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. Huh? It's only 5. Maybe I should go back to sleep. What's this? A letter?
Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium, in training, of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth, too. I wanted to help you. But I couldn't. I was useless. So I decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick.
Goodbye? What time is it? Gah! The first trains for the mountains have already left! To the station! Ah! I guess I'm too late.
Hey! Nick!
Maya! So, you're leaving?
Yeah, it's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay?
Hold it!
Hold it! But wait!
What?
I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help.
Huh?
On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice.
You heard my sister?
Yes, only her voice, but still. It was at the very end when I thought we lost everything.
Well, that's my sister for you. Dr. Gumshoe helped, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick.
But you were the one who stopped on Karma, Maya.
Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze.
Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped.
Evidence?
Take that!
A bullet?
Von Karma was convinced that he had taken all the evidence pertaining to DL6. But you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma. And you were the one who gave it to me.
Nick.
Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you.
I'll be back soon.
Huh?
I'm going to complete my training and come back.
Okay, I'll be waiting.
Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless.
I don't know about that. Ooh.
Choo-choo. So, this is it. See you soon.
See you soon, Maya.
Yay! Thanks, Nick.
And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page. And say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now, a new story begins. With the same old crazy cast of characters.
Ha! Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim?
Yes, Your Honor. Uh-oh, I got a bad feeling about this.
Objection!
And that's the end! That's the end of game 1. Hey pal, Mr. Edgeworth came down to the precinct to wish me a happy new year. Talk about pleasant surprise. Whoop! Detective Gumshoe! Then he hung his head low and went right back outside. Kind of like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh? Oh my goodness, that's funny as heck. Oh. Huh? Nick? Haven't seen him lately. Who, me? I've been working at the cheese shop. That Missy's a nice lady, but she's not exactly what I call a cheap date. Huh? Oh, she's in Hawaii right now. Yeah. He doesn't do so hot with women, does he?
Who? Mr. Wright? Yeah, I remember him. I hear he's been busy lately. You know, not to ring my own bell, but I sort of taught him everything he knows. I'm sure he's grateful.
He's the tutorial. He's the tutorial guy if you don't remember. Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright? The defense attorney from whom I wrote the affidavit for. Yes. You should know I've been taking over management of the Gatewater Hotel recently. Should you be in the area, please stop by. It's like all the characters. That's wild.
Oh, it's you! Phoenix Wright? Oh yes, Mia's understudy, was he not? I wonder how he's doing. Haven't seen him of late. Ah, the days of my youth, like the scent of fresh lemon, you see?
Let's see.
Phoenix Wright? Is he an actor? Well, I'm not buying it. You can't be a star with a name like Phoenix.
I can't talk that fast.
I'm pleased to announce the pink head princess's head. I sure owe that Mr. Wright a great deal. Oh, I'm keeping my face out of the public eye until the show's over. I wouldn't want to ruin any kids' dreams, you know.
Oh yeah. Let's see how much more we got. Still a whole lot more.
I got a letter from Maya the other day. Sounds like she's caught a cold standing under a waterfall. I wanted to meet, but didn't have time, so I sent her some pink princess train cards. What kind of place is she living at anyway? Right? Who's that? You want to talk? Let's talk Pink Princess, alright? But, you know, I snuck into the studio the other day, and I saw her. The one inside the Pink Princess suit. Ugh, what a dog. I was getting shocked for a boy for my tender age.
Oh, good grief. See who it is.
Yeah, I remember, right? That lawyer guy. Me? I was in training to become a paranormal photographer. You know that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind them, there's a ghost. For real. Now that's talent. I'm gonna be famous.
And there's the picture they took. That's awesome. Oh, and the ghost! It's Mia! That's awesome! Alright. Well?
Hold it!
Oh. New episode has been added. Oh. Yeah, we gotta save it. I'm guessing this is game 2 now. Episode 5, Rise from the Ashes. Okay, interesting. It's a new bonus game. Ooh. Well, definitely, I guess we're gonna have to do that bonus mission in the next episode. So, have a great day, guys.